Hello and welcome to worship today. I'm trying my very, very best to grow these sunflowers as tall as I can get them in my garden. I joined a competition with people all over the world organised by a friend of mine, and we're all trying to grow the tallest ones. There are other prizes too, apparently, for the prettiest sunflower or the straightest sunflower, the one that's the most yellow, the happiest one and the saddest one. I'm giving them lots of water because I've read in a book that's what they need. But I know that plants need other things to grow as well. Can you just turn to somebody that's sitting by you today and tell them what else you think those flowers need to grow as well as water? Sunflowers do something that other flowers don't do. They've got a special trick. They turn their faces to track across the sky, following the direction of the sun every day. They like to absorb its rays of light. We also need light and warmth to grow, don't we? We need light to live by, to make good decisions. It's quite difficult making a good decision in the dark. And to be happy and safe, we really need to feel warm. I often think sunflowers are a little bit like believing in Jesus, kind of turning your head, if you like, to the light and warmth of him. Jesus says in the Bible, "I am the light of the world. People who follow me won't walk in darkness, but have the light of life." And there's a story in the Bible about that too, about somebody that lived in darkness until Jesus met him one day. Here's a clue. He was a very short man, and one day he climbed a tree. I wonder if you can guess which Bible story we're going to have in our worship today. The little man in the tree. Zacchaeus was a chief tax collector who lived in Jericho. He was very rich because he'd taken lots of money from people unfairly. One day, Zacchaeus heard that Jesus was coming to Jericho, and Zacchaeus wanted to see what Jesus looked like and who he was. The problem was that Zacchaeus was really short, and he couldn't see above the huge crowd. And then Zacchaeus had a great idea. He would climb a tall tree, and then he'd be able to see Jesus. When Jesus walked by the tree, he looked up and said, "Zacchaeus, what are you doing up there? Come down. I need to come and stay at your house." Zacchaeus was very surprised. He couldn't believe someone good like Jesus would want to come and visit him. Many of the people in the crowd were surprised too. They asked each other, "Why is Jesus making friends with a man who cheats people out of money?" But Jesus wanted to change Zacchaeus' heart. After speaking to him for quite a long time in his house, Zacchaeus suddenly said, "I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to return all the money that I've taken unfairly and give it back to the poor." I wonder why Jesus was nice to someone like Zacchaeus. Maybe it's because he loved Zacchaeus and wanted to help him. In the same way, Jesus wants us to be kind to everyone around us too. What do you think Zacchaeus' house was like? Have a chat with the person next to you. If you walked in it before Jesus walked in it, what do you think you would have seen? I always imagine that Zacchaeus' house was dark inside. In fact, the Bible tells us that it filled with light and warmth when Jesus sat inside. On that day, I'm not sure that Zacchaeus needed to climb the tree. I think Jesus probably would have found him anyway. What do you think? The Bible tells us that Zacchaeus, who, if you remember, was really short, appeared taller to his friends after experiencing the light and warmth from Jesus. A bit like the sunflowers, feeling the light and warmth and growing in my garden. Have a listen to the words of this song. It's sung by a little girl who sends it to you with her love. Just either read the words or listen to them carefully. It talks about sunflowers reflecting what Jesus wants us to do.
Like a sunflower that follows every moment of the sun, so I turn towards you to follow you, my God. In simplicity, charity, I follow. In simplicity, charity, I follow. Like a sunflower that follows every moment of the sun, so I turn towards you to follow you, my God. In simplicity, honesty, I follow. In simplicity, honesty, I follow. Like a sunflower that follows every moment of the sun, so I turn towards you to follow you, my God. So I turn towards you to follow you, my God.
Did you listen carefully to the words of the song there? We're now going to have a moment of reflection and prayer. And during that time, you're going to see some sunflowers that are growing on Hayling Island near Portsmouth. There's a beautiful farm there that grows acres and acres of sunflowers for people to see, and they all track their heads across the sky, following that light and warmth. As you look at the sunflowers, feel the warmth and light of Jesus on your face. Think about who you will choose to give a feeling of warmth and light to this week. Amen. This year, the education team at the diocese will be asking schools to plant sunflowers, and we want you to plant them in a special way. To grow sunflowers in a circle. I don't know if any of you have read a book called The Sunflower House. It's quite a famous children's story, and soon there'll be some information about that story coming out to your schools. It talks about growing sunflowers in a circle, planting them so when they grow, they create round walls. It's somewhere that you can walk into the middle of the circle, and somewhere where you can feel the light and warmth of Jesus. Goodbye.